Hey, what's up, and welcome to the All-In Networker Podcast. This podcast started because myself, Dan McCabe, had a question. The question was, how do you build a big team fast in network marketing? So I asked a good mentor of mine, Dr. David Pietsch, who is a Hall of Famer, 250,000 customers in his downline, tens of thousands of representatives, and he just started spilling the beans. Started telling me everything, not just what worked in the past, but what he is doing in the future to really grow and build his business. I said, hey doc, this needs to be a thing. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, we're gonna turn this into a podcast. So here it is, the secret straight from his mouth into your ears. Whatever we can do to help you and the industry grow is what we're here for. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Let's get started. Hey, what's up, and welcome back to the All Networker Podcast. As always, I'm here with my good friend, Dr. David Pietsch, and we got a special guest for you guys today as well. One of the biggest things that, you and I have been working on, Doctor, over the last 6, 7, 8 months is helping people build their network marketing businesses, doing it online, doing it through branding, and creating just a much bigger ecosystem for themselves than what traditional old school network marketing is taught. So that's why I'm excited for today's guest. And I know that you are good friends with him. You guys have worked together for a really long time. So this particular instance, this time only, I'm going to kick it over to you to lead in everything. And you can start this podcast today. So first of all, how are you doing today, Doc? And we'll go from there. Thanks a lot.
No, I'm living the dream, Dan. You don't have to ask anymore. But listen, guys, this is one of the guys that, I don't think there's any higher that I could possibly go to, bring the content that we want to bring today. This guy is the master of social media and online and building online. And, everything that we've been doing this year, 2020, has been geared toward that. And all of us just humbling ourselves and learning new skill sets and just constantly evolving, just like the world does. So this guy hails from South Africa. I've never even been there, but I saw it on a map once. And this guy is the millionaire student. He is the African prince. In my opinion, he's just everything that you should do. I've watched him grow up, and he's just continually made good decisions. His name is Sashin Govender. Sashin, how are you today, my friend?
Amazing, Pietsch. Thank you so much for having me on. Truly appreciate it. And if I can serve you, your audience, and everyone tuning in, I'd love to do so in the next few minutes.
Now, you're looking good as usual. Is that a new suit you've got on? First time you've ever worn it?
Second, I think.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Sashin is an entrepreneur, which I love about him. Real quick, why don't you tell us about your suit company?
So, ironically, I went to India for the very first time. And when I went to India, I went there with no bags because I was going to do some shopping for my sister's wedding. And whilst I'm in this specific shop getting a suit made, the actual supplier who supplies Tom Ford suits decided to go out there and be at the right place at the right time with me. And we communicated. And with that being said, I went back home with 100 new suits, tailor-made and new bags. And next thing you know, I created and developed an app that you can put on the wall, literally on the floor, against the wall, measuring you head to toe. You turn around. In a few seconds, it takes your measurement. It's fully virtual. You swipe left, you swipe right, you pick your suit, delivers to your front door within 14 days.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me just tell you something. If you're only listening, what you don't know is, Sashin, you've known me a long time. How many times in your life have you ever seen me wear a shirt with a collar? Let me answer that for you. Zero.
Zero, literally.
Today is the day, my friend. I am wearing a shirt with a collar for you. My wife just got it for me for Mother's Day. And I said, what better day to christen this shirt than when I'm talking to Sashin? So this is about as good as it gets for me, buddy. But, seriously, the thing I love about you is you are doing a lot of different things. You've built your network and you've cashed in on it big time. And, you're earning money from multiple businesses. And Sasha, right off the bat, how old are you?
26.
26 years old. And so I've known you probably since at least 18, right?
Yep, that's correct.
So that's 8 years. I've just watched you just grow, and you just passed up grown men like they were standing still. And, it just is the testament to, it's just a matter of priorities and what you want to do with your life and just putting a plan together and executing. But I would say, just in my knowledge of you, pretty much everything you do is built online, correct?
That's correct.
What would you say to these folks who are out there? A lot of people in our audience, you know, we've got a big audience. The vast majority of them don't do jack squats on the internet. Where should people start if they wanted to start to walk down this road?
Well, the very first thing they need to understand is whether you're a millennial, whether you're a baby boomer, you need to find the gap. You need to bridge the gap between both. And some people are online and some people are offline. But as much as I'm that millennial, I need to still be able to work hard. And as much as I know baby boomers, they need to work smart. So bridging that gap together and then eventually deciding to create those free accounts, the free Instagram, the free Facebook, the free TikTok accounts. And whether you use it for personal or business, you need to be able to have access to an account. By having no account, it's like literally trying to win the lotto with no ticket. And it's not going to happen. So that's the very first thing they should do. All these platforms have been created. And all we need to do is a few clicks, put our first name, last name in, put a profile picture, and you never know who you could communicate with, who you could literally be in contact with tomorrow. And it could be anyone. Today's world, every single person is somewhere on social media, whether it's old school on LinkedIn, whether it's new school, well, let's just say the middle age on Facebook, the younger generation on TikTok and Instagram. Everyone is online. Gone are the days is where I need your cell phone number. I don't need your email address anymore. I have access to you via any messenger globally by a click of a finger.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like in old school, back when I started building my business, people would, you know, go home and Google me or the business. I just think those days are long gone. They now just go onto my Instagram or my Facebook, you know, and just check out who I really am. And so, you know, that's great advice just to get started. Dan, what are your thoughts?
Well, yeah, I know there's all those different channels like you're talking about and plugging into them. I mean, getting out there doing something, any kind of publishing is good. Anything that gets you out there where you can go out there with, if you go out there with that intent to serve and to provide value to other people into their lives and help them get to know you. I know a lot of you guys, you're also really big on kind of showing lifestyle and helping people understand that. So when you're going out there, what is your intention on your different social media channels to build your brand? Because as I was looking at your stuff, I mean, you've built one of the coolest online brands of any network marketer I've ever seen.
I appreciate it, Dan. You know, in the beginning phases, I started off from a very different aspect. I was young. I was not first generational wealth. I was second, but I would portray a lifestyle which people would want to buy into. And then I realized I got caught into that lifestyle myself and the lifestyle of proving people. So when you buy this car, there's always a better one. When you buy this apartment, there's always a better one. When you buy this brand, there's always a better one. So in the beginning phases, I was focused on that. And then I started to transition when I had the brand, when I had the success story. And I never needed to leverage of other brands or other, like a typical example of a car, a Ferrari or an Aston Martin. I never had to leverage of that. I literally leveraged off other people. And now you see me associating myself with almost every entrepreneur you could possibly think about, every artist from a musician point of view, athlete. Why? Because it's all leverage. So the brand has just taken a whole 180-degree turn because now I'm focused on a whole bigger audience. I'll give you a typical example. After this podcast right now, I've got another podcast with a guy by the name of Rick Ross who's got 12 million followers. Now, I don't have 12 million followers, but he has 12 million. My 1 million plus his 12 million brings through 13 million. He has a lot to gain, but I have so much more. So it's all about bridging that gap. But at the same time, people need to decide, is it your lifestyle that you want to portray? And it's not bad. But for me, it was the wrong route that I was going down because I continuously had to prove people. I continuously had to prove myself because I thought everything spun around a lifestyle until I realized now it's more of knowledge. It's more about the books that you read, the audios that you listen to, like this podcast, the videos that you actually watch. And it's just taken a whole turn for me. And the brand is blowing apart organically.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's awesome. And I think it's right. I think it's valuable, that transition that you're sharing with people, because there are so many network marketers that still depict that lifestyle, but they're depicting that lifestyle and showing pictures in front of cars they don't even own. And it makes, I mean, when it is when it's really fake, people can see through that and they get exposed really, really quickly. And when you start serving people from a knowledge aspect, like, you can't make that up. If you're going to like share knowledge, you had to have read the books, and people will start to trust you and want to follow you and continue to consume your content throughout the entire process. You getting this, Pietsch? Because we need to build this.
I'm just taking notes here, but our audience, a lot of them are in network marketing. Sashin, what would you say to the people who are in network marketing? What maybe percent of their efforts as far as income producing activities should start to go towards online?
Well, firstly, I realized that, and I was bridging that gap. So I was more old school, meaning I would want 10 people to meet me in a coffee shop, and I'd sit there back to back. And I realized how much of effort I was putting in. And majority of those people, realistically speaking, they quit. 1 year down the line, they weren't in my face anymore. They were out the game. So now that I've gone online with Zoom, with all these different platforms, with the brand, you could literally sit from anywhere, dress from top going up, literally from the top, a suit and a shirt or t-shirt or collared shirt. And all you need to do is cast the vision. And if people get started off online, their expectation is, I need to build this online. If people get started off by driving an hour to a meeting, their expectation is, I got to continuously drive 1 hour to a meeting. So I would say, well, here's the deal. There's 8 billion people in the world. You can't get to all 8 billion physically, but you can virtually.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to give you, so as you know, Sashin, we have been swinging the pendulum pretty hard over to pretty much all online in my organization, and we are absolutely crushing it. Like, we've got momentum that I haven't had since my first year in the business. So is it working? It's been working. Absolutely. It's been working during the pandemic. Got a lot of people ranking up, got people going to hit the highest rank in our company at the end of the month here. So that's like in 7 or 8 days. It's on like Donkey Kong. And the pushback I'm getting from the people that don't want to come with me on this journey is this. They say, you can't build leaders online. And so I know how I feel about that, but I want to hear your thoughts on that.
Well, that's exactly what people said 10 years ago before Facebook and Instagram was founded. You can't connect with people online. And once again, if you don't focus on expanding online, it won't work for you. If you do focus, it will work for you. There are people right now that are accidentally becoming wealthy because they clicked on a link online. There are people right now sitting on their Facebook waiting for the next ad to pop up, the next post to pop up, to transition the entire journey in life. And right now, if you believe it won't work, you're right. If you believe it will work, great. I wouldn't want you to focus on how to make it work. I would want you to focus on making it work for you. It's already working. It's working for so many people out there. And I'm just that typical guy who used to work online and is now bridged that gap. So from offline to online, because I realized I can't be in 10 countries in one night, Pietsch, but now I can virtually.
Yeah, I mean, and here's how I would answer that question. I believe that today I have more people on my team that can do a presentation. They can do it on Zoom. They can do way more than they ever could in the past. The whole, I got to get dressed up. I got to go to the coffee shop. I got to wait for the person to show up. I got to do the presentation. If they do get started, I got to train them. If not, I got to drive back home in traffic. And I just wasted 3 hours. And, I know you and I agree on this, that we can be doing 4 presentations an hour. Just do them every 15 minutes. So that means in 3 hours, I mean, my goodness gracious, we could have shown 12 people one-on-one rather than the one. And I just believe that these people, by doing this over and over and over again, and they're doing so many more presentations, are actually better than the old school people that took so long to actually get there. Again, we have people that are going through the ranks so fast because they're just doing a lot more income producing activities.
Nothing's stopping people from getting them in online and then building a relationship with them offline, meeting them for coffee, going to lunch with them, dinner, whatever it is. Nothing is stopping them from doing that. But by just focusing offline, literally it's equivalent to taking yourself and putting yourself in one country and telling yourself you can only build right here and you stuck right here. Think about that. I come from Africa where the average income is $200 to $300 a month. If I did that, I would never play first world. I would continuously remain in third world. It's like telling me, don't read the first world authors' books. Only focus on your country's books. Only focus right here. Well, then I'm not going to grow. I'm not going to expand. That's equivalent to that.
Yeah, I think if I can chime in on this a little bit, because I love this topic, and it's something that, you know, we've talked about this because we've dealt with the leaders that refuse to go online, that want nothing to do with it within the organization. In fact, it's not even that they don't want anything to do with it. It's that they actually, like, you know, they'll say negative things about it kind of behind the scenes to their teams. Like, no, don't do what he's doing. Don't do the online stuff. Continue doing the old school way. And I've seen it go both ways, because there are old school people. I mean, Pietsch, when he started out, who've become incredibly successful in this industry. It's happened. There are new school people that have built exclusively online, have never stepped foot in a coffee shop, that have been successful. But I believe when you bring these two together, the way that you're talking about, like, you marry these two, like they're the two spouses that each other needed, that the world didn't know about. And you bring them together, and when you show people that you can build online, and you cast that vision of how big and what you can do when you got the World Wide Web in front of you that you can talk to, and you cast that vision to them, and then you say, well, before we go and get all those people in the World Wide Web, why don't you go talk to your friends and family quick first and get them on top? And you bring those two worlds together, and you get them to go do the old school network marketing things. Like, if you just cast the vision of online, it's not enough. And at the end of the day, I mean, Pietsch and I talk about this all the time. It's really, we're just trying to arm people with more tools in their tool belt anyways. They're all going to pick which method works for them.
Exactly. If not, just if you don't want to go, and we're not asking and begging people to go all in. What we're trying to say is bridge the gap. Don't just sit there and say it doesn't work, because once upon a time, you know, a typical example of a Kindle, a book, an ebook today, it exists. It's right online. Everything is online. If Amazon and all these different platforms are not teaching us right now, then what will? And the coronavirus and the pandemic is just a humbling episode to the entire season in people's lives, to realize that online is a way that you can never neglect and never ever turn a blind eye to.
You know, Sasha, here's a question I want to ask you. So, you know, we've got people in my organization, probably been in for years and years and years. They've gone through the vast majority of their contacts. They don't really have any sort of system to meet new people. It's just kind of haphazard. If they happen to be out wherever, they might meet somebody if they get lucky. What would you say to these people they could do in a very practical sense right off the bat to just initiate activity with the intent to connect with people, you know, online via social media or whatever platform you would say, so that they can end up with new business partners in their business?
And this is exactly where I was 8 years ago, Pietsch, because when I got started off in the industry, my dad joined 2 years prior to me. So every single bit of my warm marketer's diluter was gone. So what I did was I focused on Instagram and Facebook. And it's not just you sitting there and waiting for someone to direct message you. Every day I added 5 new friends on Facebook, and not more than 5, not even 6, because you will get blocked because of the algorithm. 5, and just wait for them to add you and accept your invite. And then it's like a funnel. They're in your friends list and they're watching you for the rest of your life. They become professional stalkers. Another thing on Instagram, you follow 5 people and just make it your mission to literally comment on one post a day and like one of their posts a day. Interact, let them see your name. First step is letting them know that you exist. Second step is giving them a reason to never forget your name. So you wait for them to reach out to you. You don't be like one of those typical people who wants to jump into every single direct message of someone. And that's where Instagram and Facebook's algorithm will literally block you. So I added 5 people a day, not more. I maxed out my Facebook friends to 5,000. Once I did that, I opened up my following list, and I just recruited those 5,000 people who watched every single post that I put up. And I just posted once a day, Pietsch. And it could be 30 posts in 30 days. The next month, recycle the previous posts if you don't want to create the new ones. Whatever makes it easy for you, whatever ticks your clock. But add 5 people on Facebook, follow 5 people on Instagram, go to LinkedIn, do another 5 there, go to TikTok, do another 5 there, whatever it is, go to YouTube, any platform that exists, just add 5 a day. And don't be greedy, because now you're seeing a lot of people accepting. Now you're seeing a lot of people reach out. Now you think, hey, let's go for 10. That's where you get blocked. Play it safe. Max your 5,000 out. You gain credibility at the exact same time. And before you know it, it spikes. I enrolled 798 people online. The 2 people that I enrolled offline are my family members. I've never had one bit of warm market. So when someone tells me online doesn't work, I say, cool. And that's why you will work for the rest of your life.
Dan, what are your thoughts on that?
No, I mean, it all makes perfect sense. It's just the activity. It's like all things network marketing, all things entrepreneurship, really, it is, I mean, you're winning because of a consistent activity. You picked an activity, you stayed consistent with it throughout the entire process because you knew if you were consistent doing that activity, you would get the result that you desired. I mean, I'm sure you pictured a result in your head. You worked yourself backwards. Pietsch did this once upon a time. You did 1,000 presentations in a row. You know, a lot of us have heard the story. So it's just every night doing that consistent activity. I mean, if there's a moral to any of this, online, offline, anywhere else, it is have a plan and just stay consistent every single day.
Sashin, how important do you think it is for these people to clean up their social media? Because so many of them have got so much crap on there, whether it's political posts or whatever, just stuff that makes them look ridiculous. How important do you think that is?
Yeah, I definitely feel that, you know, personally from me, I've got pictures of my journey from sport and school, and that's pretty cool because people can see that transition. But being political and being that type of person that's verbally abusing people online and having opinions, you got to decide. Is this going to be your business platform? Are you trying to be someone that's truly going to be, you know, voicing your opinion online? What is your mission? What is your goal? What is your outcome? And then you realize, okay, great. I need a good profile picture. I also need to delete those albums. It's like, here's the deal. If you're married right now, will you still keep pictures of past relationships on your Facebook and Instagram? Probably not, unless you want your significant other to get pissed off with you. Delete it, let go of it, and most importantly, keep the stuff that shows some sort of a track record. Like, for example, when I was 18 years old in high school, I bought my very first BMW. I still got it up there, but it's totally different to me being someone that's always voicing my opinion and stuff outside the industry. As well as when you're cleaning up your stuff, I'm just that type of person that's very direct. I love to get the mission, and the mission is very simple. I want to be able to recruit the world, meaning 8 billion people. If you can literally, if you have a profile picture and if you have followers or if you have any sort of friends on Facebook and you're real, I'm in your direct message. You're going to get a like from me. You're going to get a comment from me. You're going to see me. And if you see me 10 times, you can't deny me. So people click on your profile, they look at your track record, so you want to be able to clean it up. Think about it as if it's your Wikipedia page, as if it's your book. It's existing. It's right there. It's like Google. It still stays up there. You have the choice to literally redefine your Google, your Wikipedia page, your profile.
Well, it's what we were talking about at the very beginning of this. It's your brand. You know, it's your brand. It's what they're going to see consistently over and over again. And if you do put some of the other stuff out there, if you've got very strong opinions, whether they're political or whatever they are, the only people you're going to attract are going to be people that are like-minded, and you've just eliminated a very healthy chunk of the world. At best, you only eliminated 50% of them.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where, I mean, it makes sense, and it goes along with the theme of today, like, how do you brand yourself online? I mean, that entire feed all the way back, you know, Pietsch, you talk about it all the time, along with some of your other leaders, is, hey, like, you know, if you want to know if this thing's real, just go to my Instagram page and, like, flip through it and go through all the stories, see the places I've been, see the things that I've done. So,
you know, Sasha, one of the things I think, you know, for me, that just kind of validates everything that we do. I mean, I know you and I, we spoke on stage at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium a couple of years ago. We packed that sucker out, you know, and it's just when people see that we fill stadiums full of people, you know, of our teams, they can't deny that. You know, so I think that the majority of people have got to get it in their head, if you want to be a professional network marketer, that you've got to aspire to be on the stage, because that just lends so much credibility. What are your thoughts?
I definitely believe so. I mean, I've literally taken that from direct sales and network marketing to even outside. And I've utilized it for my own personal brand, my own personal companies. And just even if you walk the stage for 30 seconds, just to say your name and get recognized. That's the picture. I love it when people take out their phone and they take a selfie with 10,000 people behind them. That's leverage 101. And Pietsch, as much as I portray a successful image, which I believe I'm a little bit successful, a lot of my successes come from leverage. In fact, almost everything. Rubbing shoulders with the right people, being seen with the right people, being seen at the right events, being seen on stage, being seen on social media with so-and-so. It just makes such a big difference when you get that credibility. So yes, you want to be able to be seen on stage, but you also want to get to the top. I'd come to all the events and I'd take a picture with keynote speakers. I'd take a picture with well-off individuals, high top earners in the industry, and I would share their story and leverage off them, because people know that you don't come from that environment. You aren't successful, but now you associate with successful people. Well, something's happening right here. I did that long enough to force success into my life.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And I've just watched you do that over and over and over again. And, the great thing about being in network marketing is we get access to a lot of those people, because the Tony Robbins of the world and the Grant Cardones and whoever, people think is a successful person, they all are around network marketing. So if you're a top producer, you get access to those people. You can get those pictures with these people.
Every one of them. I can't even name. I'm literally shocked. Every time I get people on my show and I interact with them, every one of them has either started off in network marketing, or number two, their biggest audience that they teach and mentor is network marketers. And today, every single one of them, some of them even own companies. Some of them, you would never think Ed Milet is in a network marketing company. You would never think Patrick David is in a network marketing company. You would never think the number one brain coach in the world, Jim Quick, started off in network marketing. Every single one. Tony Robbins, his biggest audience, network marketing. Ty Lopez, Grant Cardone, every one of them, their biggest audience. But it's so funny how people outside the industry praise those guys, not knowing who built them up, the industry of network marketing.
Well, I think network marketing is just business. I know you make money a lot of ways, but I know we've talked about this many times. There is nothing sweeter than residual income. Getting paid for stuff you did in the past that comes in consistently, to me, it's the highest speed thing that you can do.
Exactly. I love it. I like calling it, we have sitting on the beach money, and we have insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, but expecting something different to happen. This is insanity income. It just keeps showing up for years ago. And I love it because it's someone like me who's 26 years old, Pietsch, who's not meant to be successful, not meant to be in this profession, not meant to be speaking to people like you guys in a first world environment, not even meant to be on a podcast like this. And this industry has shown a lot of people you're all equal on the same playing field.
I remember we were talking, I don't know where we were, but we were on a bus and I was talking to you kind of like your father figure or a big brother type of thing. And I just said, listen, man, you're just like me, and I want you to know that it's okay if at some point you don't have to do this forever, because right now you're 26. I'm 50. And, I had the mentality that I'm going to just keep cranking and cranking and cranking and cranking forever. And I used to just live to work. And then I got involved in a network marketing company where the owner was very different than me. And I just saw this guy and I'm like, that guy's crazy. Like, I'm just like blown away at his mentality. But, because of him, that guy kind of taught me how to like live my life. And so, we just talked right before this that I've kind of like taken the last 10 years off of my life with a big, massive residual income. And now that I want to come back full on, I can do it because I want to do it. And that is the beauty of network marketing. You don't have to crank forever if you don't want to. And if you do want to, if that gives you energy, that's rock and roll. That's what I love the most about network marketing, is it just gives you freedom to do whatever it is that you want to do.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sign myself up again.
You're going to go again. You sold yourself. You're so good at this.
Hey, listen, Sashin, I know that, you've got a new little project you're working on. Why don't you tell our viewers what that is?
Yeah, so the Millionaire Student is basically, I had so many people come up to me, Pietsch, and I'm sure they do the same thing to you and Dan as well. they continuously ask us, how can I become a millionaire? They're so money driven. That's all they focused on. So I said, here's the deal. You got to remain in student mode. And I continuously said it over and over and over and over again. So the people organically created the tagline, the millionaire student, where people need to remain in student mode to become that millionaire. And when you become that millionaire, maintain and sustain it. So I've created a, let's just say I'm directly taking on the traditional educational route by going out there and making people understand that the wealthiest people in the world, they're self-taught. They read the books. And I don't know what $10, $20 book could change your life. I don't know what right video on YouTube could change your life. I don't know what podcast. It could be this specific podcast or anything around the world. But I created the Millionaire Student tagline. And from there onwards, I've got some of the most iconic teachers in the world. I just had someone like Robin Sharma. I had, what's his name? I had Mel Robbins, Tony Robbins on my show. I've had so many people on the show. And, you know, from there onwards, I wrote a book. It's a best-selling book right now. We sold about 20,000 copies in 30 days. And it's just been blowing up. So whatever, just go to Google, type in the Millionaire Student. If you want, I've created a gift for all network marketers. It's a 30-minute video that basically allows people to counterattack every objection in the network marketing industry. So just go to www.winwithsashin.com/closing. Go get it. It's totally free. And Pietsch, thank you so much for allowing me to do that, because most people don't allow other people to share something with their audience.
Hey, listen, buddy. I mean, you've got information that is needed and useful to our audience. You know, I mean, I don't know anybody else that's more, you know, that works harder than you, that's more in the battlefield, that is on the front line of, you know, I mean, you know, for me, I know a lot of people look at me in the past and go, oh, that guy did it a long time ago. No, well, not with you. Nobody can say that to you. I mean, you are cutting edge right here, right now, real life stuff that's actually working. And we want our people to know this information. So, you know, is there anything else you got that you're working on that you want our audience to know?
No, just, I mean, there's programs, there's books, there's everything. You can find me on Google, go to my website. Anything you're looking for is online, from a direct sales course that's a 14-day program to my $7 book to whatever you want, my free programs, the Millionaire Student Show. In actual fact, after this, I've got so many new episodes, but I mean, I'm just doing exactly what you're doing, giving enough valuable content. The world needs it. And, you know, as much as we give so much, Pietsch, people will still let it in one ear and they'll find a way to let it out the other, and they'll never execute on it. And they'll play the blame game because they can't blame themselves. So they'll blame everyone else. The information was wrong, or they were born at the wrong time, or in the wrong country, or in the wrong last name. And yeah, my information is all online. Everything you ever need is valuable. It's right in front of you. And just appreciate you guys for allowing me to share.
Yeah.
You bet. Dan, any closing questions for the big cheese?
Perhaps here, but I wanted to do just address that here really quick. I mean, we created this All In Networker podcast. I mean, the network marketing industry has whatever reputation it has all over the world. And as stewards of the industry, we all need to pick it up. And we need to do that as much as possible. So as much good information as we can share, and if we can all, like, you know, really just share and build it up together, it's kind of all of our responsibilities. I mean, it's our responsibilities to pick up this industry and make it as mainstream as it can possibly be. So I'm more than happy to share that. We'll make sure to get your link in the show notes and everything like that as well, so that people see that. So, you know, as far as any additional questions that I have, I mean, I guess if you're going to leave us with something, I know we kind of touched on it early, but maybe just kind of recap on it. The importance of creating an online brand when you're building a business. Like if you want to become, you know, big and you want to become a leader in this industry, the importance of creating that brand. And well, let's just go with that.
Yeah. So firstly, I think they should not be scared of the big wild internet world and what's out there. Having the fear that they either don't know too much, that's why they're not going to get in, or most importantly, they're not going to get in because they feel like they're going to neglect their online space. That's number one. Number two, everything rises and falls on your brand. We're living in a world where, yes, information changes situation, but loud noise gets the most amount of attention. It's sad, but that's the world we're living in right now. So it's as simple as go out there, go to your laptop, whatever laptop you have, create a header, create a private profile picture, go make some sort of a theme that gets people's attention. I'm looking at your theme right now with All In Networker, the green and the blue. It gets people's attention. Mine's yellow. It gets people's attention. Whatever's out there, be able to, on the first impression, you literally get them to look twice. And then most importantly, find your schedule. Is it going to be I'm posting once a day on social media? Is it going to be I'm adding 5 people in the morning or evening or afternoon to Instagram, to Facebook, etc.? Is it going to be I'm going live on Instagram once a week? And then most importantly, go find a coach and stick like glue to that coach. Everything that coach has ever done, replicate it, duplicate it, and be a carbon copy. I am a mentee to about 20 to 50 mentors. I look good because they made me look good. I've taken the cheat code of one chapter from every single one of them, and I've created that bestseller book you've seen right now. I haven't created myself. If you think I've created myself, then no, you're wrong, because I've studied the greatest minds in the world, change makers, disruptors, thought leaders, and I've taken their information and I've stored it on my hard drive. And that's what you're hearing today. I'm a product of their systems. And I'm saying there because I'm continuously studying every day. It could be someone like a Ray Dalio, one of the wealthiest, 29th wealthiest guy in the United States. It could be someone like him. It could be like a Richard Branson. It could be anyone that, Tony Robbins, whoever it is. You need to be a Bob Proctor. And by the way, Bob as well, his biggest audience, network marketers. People don't realize that. So from that point of view, you want to create that brand and then you want to monetize that brand. So how do you monetize it? Well, you have all these different platforms like Zoom, like this StreamYard platform where people actually go out there and they get straight from there into your funnel. You share the opportunity with them. I use something called Webinar Jam, which is automated webinars. I recorded once. I've been playing the same thing for 6 months and I'll be making a ton of money off it. Literally, people think it's live, but it works. And I could sit here for like 2 to 5 hours and literally share every single thing. But from a basic point of view, they just need to start.
Well, thanks for offering the next couple of episodes, Sashin. We will gladly take you up on that. And now we'll have you on again. And seriously, guys, what he just said right there was so good. I hope you understood what he just said there, because all of us, we learn a little bit from somebody. We don't resonate with everybody, but I've been doing that for a long time. Like I said, I am 50 years old. I have been a good student. I have humbled myself. If somebody's better than me at anything, I'm just a moth to a flame. I just want to be around that person and just learn. And so you are just like me in that aspect, and more so. You're just the pinnacle of taking that thing right there of just the perpetual student. I'll say this one. We were at a big network marketing event in Las Vegas. I'm sitting next to you. I got nothing. I got no pen. I have nothing. You've got your backpack. You've got, of course, your cell phone charger, which I'm, of course, stealing the whole time, even though I got 99% and you've got like 37%. But you are writing everything down the whole entire time. I'm trying to talk to you. You don't even look at me. You're just in student mode. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is why he is what he is, because he has humbled himself. He's surrounded himself with people that are better than him, that have just gone on before him, and he's collapsed his learning curves. So, buddy, thanks for being on. We appreciate your time today.
Thank you so much, Pietsch. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate it, guys.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right. Appreciate everybody for tuning in this episode. And till next time, this is the All Network Podcast. Thanks a lot. Hey, thanks for listening to the All In Networker Podcast. Dr. David Pietsch and I greatly appreciate it. If you receive some value, or you know somebody that will receive some value, please share this episode with them. We want to pick up the entire industry, help serve the entire industry of network marketing. We believe that when other network marketers win, we all win. So on top of that, if you'd like to check out some of our free trainings, you can go to allinnetworker.com. Otherwise, please just rate, subscribe to this episode, this podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. We'd greatly appreciate it. And until next time, thanks a lot.